Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to show you guys how to make homemade egg McMuffins. So let's get started. All you really need, obviously, are the simple ingredients: cheese, ham, English muffins, and an egg. You also need other little ingredients, but we'll get to that later. So you're always going to want to start out with cooking the eggs because they take the longest to cook. In order to cook the eggs, you need something that I don't know the real official name, but I call them egg holders. I bought these for like $8 on Amazon. I'll have the link in the description if you guys want. But if you don't have these egg holders, then you can also use mason jar lids. But I do warn you that if you use mason jar lids, they are very difficult to clean afterwards, so just keep that in mind. But for today, we're going to use both just to compare. Alright, so you're going to want to turn on your stove or oven top, right? At like 3, level 3. Mine goes all the way up to 8. So 3, you're going to want to place them down just like this. And then olive oil or avocado oil, doesn't matter. You need to put some oil in here. Just a little bit, not too much. Like that. And don't worry if when you, that's a little bit too much. But don't worry if when you pour the oil it leaks out like this. Let me show you. Like, yeah, it's not really gonna do anything. No need to freak out. After you do that, you're just gonna crack your egg. Boom. Boom, boom. And then whenever your egg is cracked, you're gonna want to get a knife and then batter the yolk. Just like that. And then what I usually do is just add a pinch of salt and pepper, for flavor. You don't have to use salt and pepper though. It's completely up to you. So then when I'm done with that, I just grab a little bit of water. It's not clean, but we're gonna use it anyway. Put some water in here, just a little bit, and then put the top on. You're gonna let it sit there and cook for 5-7 minutes, depends. So while the eggs are cooking, let's go ahead and move on to the bread. Alright, bread is actually really simple. English muffin. Be careful tearing the buns apart because they do tend to stick together a lot. They're very, not crunchy, but lots of crumbs. See, look at that. You gotta be careful or then it's gonna break apart like that. Boom. So the only thing you really need to do for the bread is put a little bit of butter on each side. You can just eyeball it. It depends on how much butter you really want. I usually just go with, whatever looks right. Put a little bit on this side. And then a little bit of butter right here. That's good. That's all you really need. And it's like I said, it's preference. It's really up to you how much butter you really want to put on there. So after the bread, take it. I usually preheat the oven up to 450, which is like almost the highest. But usually, if you're gonna be taking a long time, or if you're cooking multiple McMuffins, then you might want to put it at like 350. So you just put it in here, and you just let it toast. Cool. Let's check on the eggs. It's been a couple minutes. Eggs are doing fine, but they need a little bit more time to cook. Alright, so while the eggs are cooking, if you want, you can also add a little bit of extra water just to get some more steam. Cook faster. So basically, the way I do it is a much faster version of the versions you're gonna find online. I used to cook. I used to go off a recipe online, and it would take me at least 20 minutes to cook 4 McMuffins. It was a long and tedious process. I found a way where you can, honestly, you can cook up to 4 in like 10 minutes ish. So that's what we're doing here. So while this is cooking, and while the bread is getting toasted, you're gonna want to save this for later. This is the last thing you're gonna put on your sandwich. This is the second to last thing, cheese. And one thing I really like about the egg McMuffin is that it can be customized the way you want it. You don't really, if you're vegan, you don't have to have, if you're vegetarian, you don't have to have bacon on there. It can just be cheese and egg, you know, it tastes just as great. Or if you want extra cheese or extra ham, or you can replace the ham with turkey or the cheese with Swiss cheese. It's all up to you. So let's check on the bread. Let's see how that's doing. It's pretty hot. Okay, it's getting there. So what I like to do is once this side gets pretty toasty, and has some, like you see this right here. See how it's becoming brown? When it gets a little bit more brown, I'm gonna flip it over and cook the other side as well. All right, so here we go with the bread. So these are the final steps in the English McMuffin or egg McMuffin process. So see how it's nice and golden around the edges? That's the signal to turn it over and flip the other side. Alright, so while we put this back in here, go back to the eggs and see how they're doing. Here we go. Nice. So you want to make sure that everything is de-liquefied. It's all solid for the most part. Which it mostly is. In this case, you could wait a couple more minutes if you wanted to. But I'm just going ahead and pull them right out. So whenever I finish my eggs, the first thing I need to do, well, let me first show you how easy the egg holders are instead of the mason jar lids. Look at this. Boom. That's an easy. Now, look at the mason jar. Much more difficult to release. You see that? It's doable, but if you have the money, please go ahead and get the egg holders. See, look at this. See, look at that. And then look, that's hot. Look at that. Super hard to clean. We're just gonna put this aside for now. Anyway, so whenever you release your eggs, you're gonna wanna flip them over and make sure they get cooked on both sides. And it really just depends on how well you want your eggs done. I usually like for them to get nice and toasted and firm, but it's really your preference. Anyway, so while we let the other side cook for a second, we're gonna go back to the oven and get our toast. Not our toast, sorry, bread. Look at this. That's perfect. That's perfect. I don't know why smoke's coming out, but that's perfect. I might have cooked this bread a little bit too long, but it's fine. Okay. We got our bread, our eggs are almost done. Last thing you're gonna need to cook is your bacon. I usually use the same, what's this called? Pan? Skillet. But in this case, I'm using a similar one. You just want to put the skillet on high, or the temperature on high, and then, boom, that's it. Let me see if I can do it with my hands. Oh, no, bad idea. Oh, no. Okay, I forgot to add water. It's just heating. All it is really just heating up. Oh my god. All it is heating up the bacon. Pause the video. Alright, so we're gonna use the same skillet. No worries, something happened, that's alright. All it is heating up the bacon, really. You want to keep it at a low temperature. I have it around 3 and 4. Yeah, all it is heating up the bacon. Alright, so the way I like to make this sandwich is I like to put the egg down and the cheese in the middle so that it melts between the bacon and the egg. And the ham doesn't take long to cook. It honestly only takes less than a minute. It depends on how high you have the temperature on, but I think it's already good. Yeah. We can leave that egg and that ham for like 10 or something. The egg right here. Top it off with the top bun. Look, it's not a perfect sandwich, as you can see, but it's not perfect. These were kind of last minute ingredients. I had to go to Save Block because all the Snooks were closed. But it's still an egg McMuffin. I was saying it's not perfect. This is a product of rushing it. But you know what? Let's taste it and see how I did. This is good. Alright, like and subscribe if you liked this video. I hope it was very helpful. Let me know if you want me to try anything else. I'm down for anything, you know? Tastes too interesting.